What at, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lycos and this is my comprehensive guide on gearing up in Warzone 2 DMZ. I'm going to show you where I go to get the very best gear in the game, but also some great places to go to very quickly get yourself a 2-plate and a backpack. Now we've actually gotten a pretty good spawn right here. Directly in front of us is a warehouse building that has some very nice medium tier gear. There's a very good chance that you're going to find 2-plate chests in these buildings and medium backpacks. There's also a chance that you will find a self revive here, a good chance to find plates, and also a good chance to find valuables that you can sell at a buy station. In this particular area, there's actually 3 of these buildings pretty close together, and usually when I spawn here, I always hit these 3 buildings. If you're spawning in with no gear, your first priority should be to get a 2-plate vest and a medium backpack, and lockers have a high chance of having both of them. Before I get into the loot run, let's bring up the map and I'll show you some really good loot locations that you can hit no matter where you spawn in. You can find warehouses all over the map, but some of the best locations is in our current location in Al Mazrah City, at the port and at the quarry. And you're usually not going to have to worry about facing heavy resistance when you're looting these buildings. Another decent option would be at an ammo depot. These aren't the best locations, but they can have some decent loot. Now those are some of the best places that you're going to find medium tier loot, like 2-plate vests and medium backpacks. Now let's talk about my favorite places to hit for high tier loot. If I've spawned in close to the passenger train, that is one of my favorite places to loot for some of the best gear in the game. Unfortunately on this run it was already looted. I still found some decent stuff here, but if it isn't looted, there's a good chance you're going to find 3-plate vests, self revives, guns, backpacks, pretty much everything you're going to need. Now there are 2 other places that I highly recommend for getting high tier loot. One is the denied area at the airport, which is located right here, but be prepared to take on some tier 3 NPCs that'll be guarding this location. And the other is a denied area that's on a ship next to the docks. Both of these places have great loot, but they are also defended by quite a few NPCs and usually tier 3 NPCs. Especially at the airport, you're always going to run into tier 3, so I would recommend at least having a decent weapon and a 2-plate vest. And if you're solo, the airport is going to be pretty tough. Another thing you can do is bring in a couple of keys for good loot locations. Some of the best loot locations that you can access with a key is at the quarry. There's Kushak Construction and the Crane Control Room. At Al Mazrah City, the museum, the post office, and the police academy are all great locations, and the tower at the airport is a very good spot as well. These are my best recommendations for gearing up fast, but a couple of honorable mentions. The hospitals that are scattered across the map, these are decent places to hit as well, and they have a very high chance of spawning self revives and revive pistols. Also, the mall is a great place to get high tier loot, but there's a lot of booby traps in this place and a lot of tier 3. But sometimes I will go in through the vent that's on the side of the building here, and then I'll just try and run through, grab the loot, and get out as quick as I can. Now there are plenty of other places on Al Mazrah and the other maps to get amazing loot. This is just the method that I use when I'm gearing up. Let me know down in the comments what are your favorite places to get some loot. I know that Ashika Island has some real good spots for high tier loot. I appreciate you all watching. Hit the like button if that's what you're into, and as always, stay where you're at and I'll come where you're to. Later everyone.